It's been ages since I saw you. It's been ages since I got to meet you. Pictures faded just like they do, and the memories they fade. These are the conversations. You are my empty spaces. These are the conversations. You are my empty spaces. Ages.
My name is Mposi, and I am the mother of an angel whom I lost last year on the 20th of November 2020. So this is I don't even know where to start because it's a mouthful of everything that has occurred from then and now. As they particularly say that a daughter is a reflection of yourself, depending on the type of person that you are. But in most cases, they say you give birth to yourself. I believe that Audrey was sent to me to give me direction in my life. Although she left before she could even make me proud, but she did somehow. And I saw myself in her most of the time while she was still alive. She was a vibrant, intelligent little girl who brought joy into so many people's lives. And despite the fact that single parents have to go through so much, with her by my side, I made sure that every day was paradise. I was a single parent because I chose to walk away from an abusive relationship with the person that I had a child with. And I couldn't be there anymore because it was toxic. It was no longer good. It all started from when I was expecting the baby up until I gave birth to my child. As they say, you could never really change a person. I actually saw that, or a person will never change. I actually saw that with the person that I had a child with. To me, I am not trying to sound mean or whatsoever. To me, he was more of a visitor than a father in my daughter's life. Although, yes, my child knew him, but he was not active. He was not active in her life at all. And somehow I blame some parents for how they raise their sons. Because in most cases, some of us that have kids with other people that still have their mothers in their lives, and to us who don't have mothers, it feels like they feel like they can control us somehow. I lost my mother when I was very young. My mother and my father were never married. So the relationship was there between me and my dad. But as a lot of girls are raised by single mothers as well, it does not mean that if you were raised by a single parent, whether male or female, it does not mean that you're inadequate amongst other kids. But once you have lost a parent, you lose a part of you. The relationship between me and the person that I had a child with was okay. I knew him all my life, and I did not actually believe that he would actually be, how can I put it in simple terms, someone that I didn't even want to know anymore. He was never there for my pregnancy. When he came, it was as if I'm bothering him. I did not get that full support that you're supposed to get from the person that actually put you in that situation. Yes, I played my part, but I felt like he was not there entirely. But I chose to make sure that he was a part of our daughter's life because I did not want to be one of the statistics of having a child and the father is not there. Although you see that the father is toxic, but you keep on running back. We are groomed or raised to be strong as women in all aspects of our lives, no matter what lives brings to us. But we are not actually groomed in actually accepting situations if situations don't work out. You always feel like you're the problem, whereas the problem lies with somebody else that fails to give you respect, that fails to give you love. And sometimes you feel like materialistically, if you give out certain things, you will be loved. That's not love. That's not love at all. There's so many women that could actually relate to what I went through, but then they chose to stay. I chose to leave because I saw that the only way for me to actually live in that place was actually to be dead or in a mental institution. But then I had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little girl who wanted me to actually be strong in my life and to be a mother in her life. It's never easy being a single parent, but then you have to do what you have to do. And hence I say it goes for single parents, whether male or female. You have to do what you have to do because you are that child's universe. No parent should ever bury their child. I saw my grandmother burying my mother. It haunted her for the rest of her life up until she left. And my great-grandmother buried my mom's mom, and it actually killed her up until she also left. By losing my mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother, it actually shifted me as a person because I feel like so many of these things, losing so much in a short space amount of time and also being the only child in your mother's life actually also affected me. I had given up hope that I would never be happy in my life because you tend to imprint in people, but then those people are actually meant to be in your life for a season, whereas yourself, you think that they're supposed to be in your life for eternity. We lose a part of us in other people, not actually seeing that those people are the problem, but also believing that you're the problem in a lot of cases. And it actually shifts you as a person. It turns you to be someone that you're not. You don't even listen to people that actually see that that person is not meant for you. Somehow, I believe that if I had walked away by that time, when coming to that person that I had a child with, I could have avoided so many things. I could have avoided the fact that I had this beautiful baby who left me because I wouldn't be hurt. I wouldn't feel like I also need to be where my daughter is. I wouldn't have gone through all of the heartache and sorrow that his part of the family put me through. Because From the moment that I found out that I was expecting, I thought that it was going to be a beautiful experience, but it turned out to be my worst nightmare. There were days when I felt like I just need to turn back time and change all of this, because I can't handle this anymore. And it's not fair for you to bring a child into the world to a toxic situation like that. And at the same time, you're trying to fix it, but it's not fixable. It's already broken. That person shifted me into being somebody that I was not. And for me, somehow I always felt like I was the problem. Whereas he was busy doing whatever he was doing and not actually caring or giving a damn about me or my situation or how I was. Although people warn me, we choose to stay in situations that have already let us go, but we choose to stay, we force. And at the end of the day, when something hurts you or strikes you, that's when you say, I could have left. I hope that this will reach somebody who's in that same situation that I was in, before something else happens, before a child is involved, or before somebody kills you, or before something bad happens. Because once something has happened, you can never turn back time. You can never have that specific moment again. You know, it's quite sad that, I was often asked, where is the father of your child? In most cases, of the way that I raised her. And I just chose to keep quiet, because what's the point of mentioning someone that doesn't even want to be there? There were moments when I would need things, and then his mother would choose to treat me like I was a nobody. So many mothers fail their sons that they take out their frustrations on us. And it was never fair. It was never fair from the get-go. Somehow I feel like the disrespect came from the fact that my mother was not there, or my family did not have money. I was not from a rich family. My family could get by, but we were not rich, but we could get by. And somehow we tend to think that the person that we say we love will accept us with the situation that we're in. But when we turn our back, they go to someone else to find comfort. My daughter was born prematurely. A lot of women go through that because of stress, because of people that don't value the situation that they're in. But I did not give up. I was always there for my little girl, because she was all I had left in the world. And I could not let her down. I could not let her down. Even though when she was growing up, I was often told that I think that the way that I'm raising her, I think she's better, or I think that she's kids that appear on TV. But I chose to not let those things get to me, because those people could actually see that I could do without them. It's totally frustrating how people can, when people see that you don't need them in your life, that's when they will turn your life upside down. I don't wish bad or evil on anybody, but sometimes I feel like it's best that some people are left in the past, because their souls and their energy is just draining. Somehow I wish that I had my child with somebody else. Most probably maybe my daughter would still be alive. Somehow I wish that I had died with her that day. Sometimes I wish that I had never met that guy, because the only thing that he brought in my life was just sorrow. He was never supportive. When he was trying to be supportive, he was more or less like a visitor. And the only thing that he would tell me, if maybe I would need something, go to my mother, as if I made that child with his mother. It's sad that we have to bottle all of this anger and all of this heartache just so that you are protecting somebody else. I was always protecting my daughter from experiencing this pain and disappointments that I went through as a young single parent. That's why I chose to raise her the way that I raised her. That's why Audrey was so special to me. That's why she had 3 names, Audrey, and each and every name had a meaning because of the type of situation that she was in. Sometimes, yes, they were supportive, but you never truly know a person, as they say. And what I can say is that my situation has shifted me, or has taught me that not everything is permanent. What God gives, God can take. That's what I learned from losing Audrey. That's why I call myself mother of an angel, because the child that I had was miraculous. She was exceptional. She was extraordinary. She was the way that she was. It was as if she was sent just to make me focus on some other aspects in my life. And then she was taken away from me when I least expected it. My daughter was never sick. My daughter was healthy. But that fateful night, she was taken away from me. And sometimes I feel like all of the pain that I went through and disappointments from the part or the side of the family, the father side of the family, I feel like it was never worth it, because I could have put all of my attention and my energy on my daughter. I've met so many people in my life that actually cherished the relationship I had with my daughter. I have made so many impacts on young parents, especially mothers, that actually made their kids their best friends. But losing Audrey has totally shifted me as an individual and as a person. That till this day, I feel like even if it turns out that I could have other kids, I don't want any other kid, I want her. I know it's not possible, but I feel like I want her back. I feel like I'm betrayed. Sometimes I feel like I had died with her that night, but it's impossible. But the heartache and the pain that a person has to go through day in, day out, it's not human. I can't handle it anymore. And from what I saw from the day I gave birth to her up until her last day, and funeral preparations, everyone coming in, coming out, one thing that I actually saw was that even till her last day, the person that called himself a father failed to actually show remorse at my daughter's funeral. You know, sometimes I say what I'm about to say will sound bad or mean to other people, but the bond that was there between me and that person, somehow I feel like it's fine that it's no longer there. I'm at peace. I don't hurt, although I'm hurting like this, but I feel like it's fine that it's gone, because I could have lived my life looking over my shoulder because of a specific individual that did not value me or value the type of love I gave to them. Audrey was everything that I could ever want in a child and more. And if it means that I could just go and get her back, I would. But unfortunately, I cannot. As they say, life goes on. You have to forget about her. It's not like she's coming back. Fuck that, actually. That statement, fuck that statement. I know she cannot come back, but I gave birth to her in good or bad times. She was there. She was there, although I was the mother taking care of her, but she nurtured my feelings. You know, she groomed me as a person to actually show me ke kgona go tlhokomela motho, ke kgona go nna responsible, ke kgona go dira certain things without depending on anyone, but depending on myself. God showed me that side of me that I never even thought existed. That is why I feel like I was betrayed, but somehow I feel like it has totally groomed me as an individual to actually see I can stand on my own and not rely on anybody else. Despite all of everything that was said about me or is said about me, I can actually be my own peace. You don't have to rely on somebody to survive on your own. It's not like that. You don't have to be a mother to somebody's child if their parent failed to actually discipline them or give them the correct manners. If a guy starts being violent, walk away. Don't think that you're the problem. Walk away. Even if you have a child together or not, just choose to walk away. It's not worth it. It's not worth you worrying or crying yourself to sleep. Even if he has somebody else, let whoever have him. It's okay. It's fine. That's why I say, Hore, although it hurts that my daughter's not here, but I'm glad that the bond is no longer there. To some people, it might sound like I'm sounding petty or bitter or mean, but from everything that I went through, put yourself in somebody's shoes and see how far they've come. From how far I've come, you would actually be proud of me actually saying this. Because a lot of people warned me, but I chose to be selfish and then I stayed. My own father warned me, but I chose to stay. And it led to me having this beautiful soul and then having to let them go. Maybe God was protecting her from whatever was going to come. And then she left me. But apart from all that had happened, there was always positive. She was the positive side to my misery. She brought me joy in times of despair. Whenever she saw I was not myself, she would say to me, Mama Oscar. Little did I know that my birthday was the last birthday that I could ever have of us together. Little did I know that I would never see or hear her laugh, run, scream, feel her next to me or do anything, because on that fateful day, on the 20th of November, my little girl was no more. There's so many people that lost, whether it was a miscarriage, whether it was a stillborn, whether it was a 6-month-old, 6-week-old, ngwana gago a tsamaya nje. I believe that re tla nna sharpo, leng a kitse, mara re tla nna sharpo. And I choose to believe gore people should not judge how we choose to deal with our pain. Everyone is different when it comes to pain, and do not judge someone based on what you don't know. Don't actually make someone feel otherwise because of your fucked up mentality. Do not do that. And at the end of the day, we are forced to groom back into society while we are still dying inside day in, day out. Yes, it's been a difficult 3 months. It's been a difficult 3 months. Now it's going to be 4 months without my little girl. And every day feels like a short horror movie that I cannot adjust to or that I cannot get used to. Cause hayo. And people think hore wa actor wala pisa go fedile. A ke itse tshwanetse gore just because o mo fitlhile that day in ne bye, life goes on. How can life go on? Yes, yeah, go on, mara wena di feelings tsa how can they go on? No, you should not be forced to deal with your pain based on how society portrays it. Deal with your pain the best way possible. Deal with it. And it's even sad dealing with your pain when you are always on your own. Even at work, you just have a distraction by that for that specific amount of time, and then you have to come home. I come to an empty home. I used to come to a home where I had a toddler that drove me crazy every day in, day out. Day in, day out, sleeping or not, she drove me crazy. She was a little drama queen. She was a mini me. Well, she was worse than me, but she made life worthwhile. And then people expect you to sharp, whereas you lost so much. Or people think you act that differently just because wena ha o khone go handlela bana ba banyane. Wa go ba handlela yang? Wa go ba handlela yang? Because I can't even go into a store and then I see a department ya dilo tsa bana. I ke khone, especially little girls, toddlers. I cannot. I just want to get out of that store before I panic or something just happens or I lose it. But I choose not to deal with myself based on how people tell me I should deal with it. No. I am letting myself feel whatever I need to feel by that specific time. If I need to cry, I'll cry. If I need to scream, I'll scream. If I need to keep quiet, I'll keep quiet. If I don't want to answer my phone, I will not answer my phone because that's how I feel. And no one is going to come and ask me why am I not answering my phone, because that's not anybody's business at the end of the day. She really made me happy. She did. And the pain of not actually being able to see her every day, I think that is what is actually making me feel like I cannot breathe or I cannot comprehend whatever is going on. It's sad. Some people go crazy. Some people are in mental institutions because of losing their loved ones. Audrey leaving me, actually, she lived with my heart. I don't think it's there anymore, but she lived with my heart. And no one should expect me to be me anymore at this particular time, because I'm dealing with so many things at once. The pains that I locked away because she was my distraction came back. All of them. Everything. It's like I'm dealing with so many things at once. But for some people, they get lucky because they have supportive family, supportive friends. I'm not saying that my friends and the people that are close to me are not supportive, but sometimes I feel like people are not understanding of what you are going through, and they need you to portray yourself to be something that you are not, and not actually making you deal with certain emotions the way you're supposed to deal with the emotions. Whatever emotion is there, make sure that you deal with it, because if you don't deal with it, it's going to catch up. Even if it takes 20 years, it's going to catch up. And that's the one thing that I was afraid of when I lost my mother, that if I do not deal with this certain pain now, what's going to happen 10 years from now? What's going to happen then, whatever. But you're supposed to deal with each and every emotion as it comes. As I say, every day is not the same, but you should always put yourself first. It should be God, then you. That's the best combination that you could ever have. All I can say is that getting by day is hard. It's really hard when you were used to a certain routine. It's hard. Sometimes you feel like the best way for you is death is the only way out for you. Or you just wish that you could sleep or something. But unfortunately, you wake up and you have to go through whatever you're going through. From looking at the past, I know they say do not focus on the past, just move on from it, but we tend to forget that the past is what grooms us from being individuals that we are today. And even if you run away from your past will catch up with you. That's the sad part about everything. And I don't actually think gore o tshwantse o beelwe nako ya gore o nne sharp, no. And it's sad how the people that would actually say to you, call me when you need anything, call me when you need someone, call me this and this and this and this. When push comes to shove, batho ba nyamella. Kore gwa nyamelwa man. Gwa tlhakatlhakana go nna yo batho. Go nna ka mokgwa. But all I can say is that don't settle for situations that you can actually feel or see that they are just going to drain your energy. Or don't settle for lust, because lust will never last. Someone will come and whisper sweet nothings to you just to try and get whatever they want from you, because in this life is give and take. After getting what they want, a person will change. That's what I learned from the person I had a child with. I forced things, seeing that this road has ended, but nna ke batla continuation. A gona continuation ya next o bona gore motho ke nonsense. Ha motho a sa bone diphoso mo lifeng ya gagwe, wena o tla di banka yang? How can you glue things? O bona go le planka le fedile bile la fofora go batla go le tsatsa glue. Ga go siama kae? Go se siame. So choose to walk away. Choose to walk away, because the opportunity di go feta wena mo o shebane le go dula mo tlase ga setlhare sa diapole o sa bone gore ko pele kwa gona le di watermelon. No, walk away. She was here, not now. She's not here anymore. She's at peace. She's happy. She's an angel. She was pure. Akona a sin that she committed. There was no sin that was committed. The only sin that was committed was bringing her into this terrible, terrible world. But I'm thankful that she chose me to be her mother. I'm thankful. Every month on the 27th, it will always be a hard day, because I chose that day to celebrate it as her birthday. It's on the 27th of December. I was the coolest mom I know, and now I have to go back to being uncle. Yes, I'm a mother of an angel, but the person that gave my life meaning, my smalls, Biggie's nothing without smalls. My smalls is normal. And although it's difficult, and the fact that I have to go through life without my little girl, I need to accept it. I need to deal with the pain, and I need to try and get used to smalls not being there anymore. But I'm pretty sure she would not want to see me digging myself into a hole, but she would want me to live my life, because she was selfless, she was loving, she was a beautiful person. Let's try and be there for ourselves for once, because that's the best way possible that we can actually get through this. No one will ever understand our pain. No one will actually understand why we are the way that we are, or how we are. No one will ever understand this, but we are the only people that can actually understand our own pain, and the pain doesn't go away, but you just learn to live with the pain. I learned to live with the pain of my mother not being there, although it was difficult, especially on birthdays and Mother's Day. But I learned to live with the pain because I had somebody else that was actually dependent on me and depending on me to actually be a better mother. But then now I have to actually live with the pain of my daughter and my mother not actually being there. But then again, you find your strength in pressed situations. But then again, I'm thankful that I was given that opportunity to actually see or or to be selfless when coming to another human being. I'm grateful to have been Audrey's mom. She was all that I needed. If I could have her back, I would. But unfortunately, it does not work like that. But if it was possible, I'd have her back in a heartbeat. Because I truly miss her. I truly miss her. And sometimes I feel like I'm betraying her. If a day goes by and I don't actually see her, glimpse of her, or just actually talk about her. But sometimes it's said that you're hurting your angel if you don't want to let them go. But it's not that I'm not letting her go. It's the fact that I have to face reality. Which is something that's bittersweet. It can take me 20 years or 30 years if I'll still be alive, but the pain cuts too deep. The pain is truly deep. But I hope that I can be someone's inspirational, give someone courage, or a young mother or someone that's going through something similar to actually be better or to actually find yourself in the depth of a storm. I am not saying that I am coping or I'm handling everything tip top, maragazama. I'm trying my best. I am literally trying my best, and I'm thankful for prayers and people that regularly check up on me, but it's a hard pill to swallow. Mare, sometimes I get content. I'm at peace because hopefully she's with my mom and my angels are together, and I'll join them soon. I'll be with them and our reunion will be beautiful. But then for now, I need to gather my strength and make them proud so that I don't let them down. I'm thankful for their lives and I'll always cherish them. And they'll always live through me. I'll always be Audrey's mom. No matter what, I'll always be Audrey's mom.
I love you, Olise.
You stood by me when I was low. You listened when I needed a friend.
I love you.
I am grateful.
I love you. I miss you.
Grateful for your never changing love. I'm thankful that I can call you a friend. Against everything, you never left my side.